I'm going to make some meatloaf cupcakes. Start with a basic meatloaf recipe. So I've got 500 grams of beef here. I've got an egg. I've left breadcrumbs in the cupboard, but I don't need them yet anyway. Don't have any tomato paste at the moment, so it's just tomato sauce. I'm just going to start with that. It's usually about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Just adds flavour. Who knows why it's in there. I've also got some satay sauce. I normally actually use the peri peri sweet chili sauce from Nando's, but I've run out of that too. Salt. I don't know. You just put your salt and pepper in like you normally do with a lot of things. I don't really measure things out. I've got carrots. I don't normally use them, but I felt like at this time I put a handful of them in. It's about a carrot, a grated carrot. Now I put some coriander in because my pup likes them. Again, I'm not measuring, probably a teaspoon. And some garam masala, this lovely, lovely seasoning, again introduced to me by my partner. Indian background, but doesn't know how to cook curry properly. Worcestershire sauce, new ingredient also added by him. And egg. Of course, I got a glass here because easiest way to crack it, and that's where I put the shell straight after. Don't need to worry about running to a bin. I don't know how much is supposed to go in here. When my mum was teaching me how to make it, she just said, put in enough till it feels right. I reckon it's, at the moment it's a quarter of a cup, but it probably ends up being a cup because I'll probably add more later. Now for the icky sticky bit, you gotta get your fingers in it. You can use a food processor of course, but you know, all the great chefs say something about you being able to feel when it's reached the right texture if you've got your hands in it. This is really cold. This is the worst part about it because it's freezing because the meat's been in the fridge. Now this definitely needs more breadcrumbs. Quickly rinse off my hands. I've got 6 sink water here for that. Probably rounds up to a cup. That's right, half a cup of breadcrumbs. And now, most recipes also actually have sausage meat in it. I stopped using that about a year or 2 ago because my partner was Muslim and it has pork in it. And then he started eating pork anyway. But I just don't like the way it's tasted lately every time I've added sausage meat, so I just don't add it anymore. Now it feels a bit grainy, but the bread absorbs it, I guess, so this is probably a good texture. I might add a bit more salt, because I don't think it has enough. But pretty much, I always forget this. Generally people add a cut up onion in it. I do add onion. However, I don't like the way it tastes when it's undercooked, so I actually fry up the onion first. And I usually fry up the garlic with it. You can use minced garlic, or you can use a couple of garlic cloves, slice them and crush them yourself. I've used about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic in this. I like my garlic in my burgers. So I just mash that in as well. Fingers right in there. It all comes off the fingers pretty easy, just wash them. No harm done. I've got clean hands, of course. That's pretty much it. My mum used to put shredded cheese in it, but I'm trying to be a little health conscious with these, so no cheese. It's a bit gooey, but last time I added more breadcrumbs, it just tasted like bread. So I'm going to add more. I'm done with them. Now, wash hands of it. I'll make mini ones. I'm going to use red, I think. Sounds about right. So I don't think these little cupcake pans are going to survive, but I guess we'll see. Definitely suggest you use foil. I couldn't find any in my supermarket. Now the icing, I had originally in my mind decided gravy, of course, like chocolate icing. And then I was looking online and discovered, of course, mashed potato, perfect texture, exactly the same as butter icing. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do that in a minute once I put these in the oven. So now it's really just a case, I don't know, you don't really need to roll them, plonk it in. I'd overstuff them because I'm sure you know that meat, burgers, meatloaf, it all shrinks when you cook it. So it's going to come out much smaller than this. And you want them to still kind of fill the little cupcake pans. So that one's a bit overstuffed. So I put all these in and I'm going to work them into my obviously preheated oven. 180 degrees, I guess, average temperature. Take this pizza out. It's for later tonight. My mum always told me as a rule of thumb just to use 1.5 potatoes per person. I of course threw that out the window because I love potatoes. This is about 6 anyway. So I'm going to go steam them. I've got this beautiful little steamer. About 35 minutes. You could probably do it in 20, but I like them to be extra soft. I don't want any lumps. So I'm going to put on the steamer. And then I just have to wait. That's the potatoes all steamed. Now I'm adding, I don't know, a tablespoon of butter, pepper, you know, a grinding's worth, you know, a quarter teaspoon, a teaspoon, I guess it depends on how much pepper you like. I put a fair bit of salt in, but, you know, if you're watching your cholesterol, I don't know what it is that salt contributes to, don't put too much in. Now, milk, I don't know how much I'm supposed to put in, but we want it to be kind of firm, so I'm just going to put a little bit in at a time. That was maybe 2 tablespoons. And now we mash. Not the best masher, but don't use a stick blender. It'll get it nice and fine, but it'll make it really sloppy, and you want to use this for piping. So you need a thick icing texture. Now, if you want it to be a little firmer, add some cheese, because that'll thicken it up. It'll also make it nice and tasty. I'm not going to add cheese, because I'm being slightly health conscious. Sour cream is a really nice thing to add. Again, I'm being a bit more health conscious, so I'm not going to add sour cream. But it really enhances the flavour. Of course, don't put too much. Maximum a tablespoon. If you've got a lot, obviously a bit more. Just until you can just taste that little kick. Really nice kick. Garlic if you want. I think garlic's a bit strong. We've got plenty of garlic in the actual meat loaf cupcakes. Now, not supposed to do this, but I'm going to dip a finger in it because I want to also see what kind of texture I got. I've got clean fingers. I'm not going to lick my finger, of course. When it's just me and my man, I lick all I like because it's just me and him. It's hot, a little lumpy. Generally, it's going to be fine for piping. I keep mashing. I am going to give it a taste test to see if there's got enough salt and butter. Bit more salt. There's some nice. Nick's always been a bit of a fancy cooker. He likes things with lots of different seasonings. But mashed potato can be just beautiful when it's just simple. Just salt, just some pepper, butter, milk. Like sour cream, even then, not much. I'd say 50 grams of butter, 2 tablespoons. Quarter cup of milk to half a cup, depending on how thick you want it. Generous grinding of salt, generous grinding of pepper, and if you're having sour cream, a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons worth. Just remember it's going to add to the liquid, so add it first and then add your milk. I'll put this in a piping bag. Got one set up with a star. You all love the star one already, so I'm going to use this one. I don't know the correct way to put stuff in a piping bag. I'm always pretty messy with it. I don't know, never had anyone tell me how to do it properly, I guess. That's the same way you do icing really in cupcakes. And you get your bag, work the stuff down first so that I can twist it properly. And here, twist the end, I probably overfilled it a bit. There we go. There we go. Done. Now for your viewing pleasure, we shall try one. My little cupcake things actually lasted, I guess because they're proof against this kind of stuff. Meatloaf and mash, very yummy. And a nice little bite.